income, for your career, as well as for your business. Okay. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to open up and just go forth with it. So this is me. I always kind of start off with things about myself that people don't necessarily know. Some of you who have been with me for a while now, this. No college degree, definitely was a troubled youth. And I say that because it's so important for people to see themselves in you. And so when people see me now, they say, "You're a troubled youth, really?" I'm like, listen, if you want to talk to my mama, she'll tell you a whole lot. But yeah, I was a little rebellious and just had some anger things and just a lot of different things that happened to me in my past that came out in a way of anger, right? And it's funny because just recently, my husband, to know, like, not in his own doing, he didn't search out this speaking request, but just recently, you guys, I have to tell you this story. So just recently, my husband gets this inbox from LinkedIn, and his company is just low-key doing some great things. I love T86 marketing because it's helped me with my social media. It helps with so many other people and bigger companies in the Atlanta area with their social medias and kind of just building them up and Facebook communities, etc. So he gets this message from this guy who's like, "Hey, listen, I see what you're doing. I'd love to have you come on and speak to some troubled youth." Y'all, listen, just follow me, okay? I know y'all like, what is this? Where's the story going? So he's like, "Okay, yeah, sure." So I'm his booking manager. So when he gets booking things and all that good stuff, it goes through me. So I'm getting the guy's information. I'm sending him our intake form, asking him more information about the event. The guy says, "Yeah, so it's going to be at Hearts to Nourish Hope." Y'all, so when I was out here being a very troubled youth, Hearts to Nourish Hope was the program that the judge gave to me as a result of teachers basically speaking on my behalf. So I had two choices. I could finish out the rest of my high school career in juvenile detention, which is like a juvie prison, right? Or because these teachers spoke on my behalf, I could get this get into this program where I did like a ridiculous amount of volunteer hours. It was like almost 200 and something volunteer hours at this company called Hearts to Nourish Hope. And I did it. Guess what? Without Hearts to Nourish Hope, I wouldn't be who I am today, because they gave me the opportunity to help families. I was volunteering. I was creating gift baskets for people who were homeless. I mean, they just did so much for the community, and I was a part of that. I worked there for free. I was a volunteer not by choice, but instead of going to jail. Okay, and so, but I began to fall in love with it, you guys, and then I changed my whole life around, and I wanted to serve. That's what started Monique Davis in serving and having a servant attitude and wanting to help the community. That experience. Isn't that crazy? So anyway, fast forward, my husband gets contacted by a rep with them who had no idea of the connection. And it was just such an amazing experience. I came with him, I did pictures, we took pictures and all that good stuff and helped him with the presentation and everything. And they were just so blown away because they, hadn't seen the other side of the program that they were currently in. And so I just wanted to share that because you just never know, you know what I mean? How full circle things will come around to you. You just never know. You just never know. And so just having that desire to help, that desire to want to give can take you to so many different places. And that's just really what I wanted to share. I literally have no other point of sharing that, but to say, hey, wherever you are now, there's someone who's in a worse predicament. And guess what? Your testimony, your story, your journey can help them. Okay. Absolutely. Okay. I got thrown off. You know how I get, y'all. All right. So going down to the certified job hopper. So I was a certified job hopper. Yes, the expert recruiter, the person who interviews and recruits and talks to people and critiques their resume, critiques their interviews. I was the job hopper of the year. Okay. I called myself the certified job hopper. As soon as I didn't like something, I was like, okay, I'm done. So, and it was also because I never found that thing that I was like, I really want to stay here. That company, that vibe, that the income that was, ever growing. It was always kind of constant until I found recruiting, of course. And because I desired that freedom from just the paycheck cycle, waiting for a paycheck, wait like a hamster wheel, like waiting for a paycheck, waiting for a paycheck. I have that kind of personality that I wanted to do more, right? And so that's what happened. I decided to do more. I fell in love with recruiting, but I also, recruiting wasn't it. It was recruiting and freelancing. A lot of people don't know that story about freelancing and how it came about. My company was doing just slow. It was just really slow, and I wasn't getting any business. And I was like, oh gosh, what am I gonna do? And I knew I had all types of skill sets. I knew I had all types of gifts and talents and things that I could do that I didn't necessarily like to do, and things that I could do that I was okay with doing, and things that I could do that I absolutely love doing. And that's kind of a good place for us to start. If we could stop right there real quick, wherever you are, if you have the pen and paper, I want you to just do that list of 3 things that I just said. Things that you can do, but you absolutely don't like it. Things that you can do that you're okay with doing. You're not mad at it. You're just like, it's okay. It's all right. I'll do it. Okay. And then I want you to write the things that you absolutely love. Okay. We're going somewhere. We're going somewhere. I'm looking for something that was in my area here, and it's not in here anymore. I'm getting frustrated. Nope, not there. Okay. All right, you guys make your list. I hope you're making your list. Seriously, I really want you to make your list. So with that list, I want you guys to hold on to that, because that's going to be key to some things that we're going to talk about and from a freelancing perspective, okay? All right, so I wanted to tell you a little bit more about freelancing, because a lot of people, I realize when I say the word freelancing, they don't know what it means, okay? Strangely enough, they do not know. So I want to go there, and I want to just kind of share what freelancing is. So freelancing can be all of these different things above here, right? Anything from consulting to contracting to diversified working to moonlighting, to FBOing. We'll talk about that in just a second. But these are just all the different types of freelancing, okay, that you can do. And people don't necessarily, in my opinion, understand what freelancing is. And so I want to share that. I want to share that with you guys, okay? So first and foremost, let's talk about freelancing from a moonlighting perspective, okay? So moonlighting is what I did while I was in corporate America. Like I had a 9-to-5, but I would moonlight independently my talent on the side, right? And make additional income, right? You'll see that with some certain people who are network marketers, which I was, and I'll tell you about that as well. And some people who are recruiters who do a little freelance recruiting on the side, which I did too. Listen, I was all about the bag, okay? I did a little bit of everything. So independently with your freelance talent on the side. So you basically could be a recruiter that does virtual assistants on the weekend. Does that make sense? Like it's moonlighting, okay? So it's still important to know kind of like where you are and what you're currently doing. Okay, Michelle says yes. Okay, good, Michelle. But like I said, the key is to with moonlighting is it's not your full income. You get what I'm saying? It's just not your full income. It's just your moonlighting. Okay. So we got that. We got that together. Contractors. So contractors, you work on a specific project. You work on a project, maybe a project to project basis. You may temp. Some temps can be freelancers because you're not married to the job, right? I used to love first of all, as a certified job hopper myself, okay, I love to temp. Some people hated temp work. I would be around like just having, coffee or lunch with colleagues, and they would be like, oh, I don't want to go on another contract assignment. I just want to get a home. And I'd be like, ooh, I don't want a home. I want a contract. I was the runaway bride. They would offer me the position. I'd be like, no, I don't want to be here. I don't want to go. I want to job hop. I want to, just go and help different companies thrive, but I don't want to stay married to one. And so that was contracting. Contracting is another form of freelancing. Okay. I'm being so honest, y'all. Listen, if you have that kind of personality, I'm going to stop you right there. I'm so serious, y'all. Certain people did not get me because they were very traditionalist. They were, so there is a such thing as people being traditional. They want the 9 to 5. They want the benefits. They want the security. They don't understand how to create a 401k as a business owner, which I can help do that as well. But they don't understand that you can have the same security and the same, benefits as a freelancer or as a business owner. But my personality, I was a certified job hopper. I could not stay married to one job. Okay. And so that's when I found the world of freelancing as a contractor. And if you have that kind of personality, that's what I was going to say. If you have that kind of personality, that you are made to do freelancing. That's why you haven't been satisfied, because you want to do different things. You want to monetize your talents for different things. You want to be in the midst of some other stuff. Okay. So you don't want to just have that one job every day, all day, and that's it. Okay. That's the truth of the matter. Can we say that? That is the absolute truth of the matter. Yes, Michelle, that is you. Okay. Listen, you know that the stigma. So this is it. This is what's crazy. There is a stigma, especially in the United States, not in other countries. Not in the Philippines, not in Brazil, not in all the other countries. You can not have a 9 to 5 and thrive. You can be a freelancer and thrive, right? But in America, we have this thing where if you don't have a 9 to 5 and you're not there for, 15 years, and you haven't worked your way up the ladder for peanuts or change, then for some reason you're not successful, or you're not deemed as someone who is noteworthy or something. I have no clue what their thought process is, but that's a lie. Okay, can I just say that? You don't have to be a lifer. That's right, Michelle. You do not have to be a lifer in corporate America if that's not what you want to do. You can moonlight, like I just mentioned. You can be a contractor. As I mentioned before, that was my career. One company did snag me up, and maybe two snagged me up, and then I still left, right? But there's a certain personality type that's just meant to do freelancing. Okay, that's just it. So anywho, we have contractors. I explained contractors. So let's talk about diversified workers. Okay, so you have a diversified worker is someone who has like a mixed income. All right. Yes. Oh, hey, I'm Jackie. The days of the lifer are over. So a diversified worker is someone, it's still a freelancer, y'all, but it's someone who has mixed income, some from a traditional employer and some from freelance work. Someone who works as a receptionist maybe for like 20 hours a week and fills out the rest of their income, maybe driving for Lyft. Or you get what I'm saying, or driving for Uber or whatever, and doing freelance writing. So a diversified worker is basically how I was at one point in my life. I would work this many hours here, and then the other hours I would do some freelance stuff, some freelance interview coaching, some freelance resume writing. I never drove for Lyft. That's because I'm not a good driver, and I am not afraid to admit that. Okay. Hello. I'm not afraid to admit that. Don't get in the car with me and want me to drive. Okay. So, so let me tell you, that is how you know my husband. Let me tell y'all a story real quick. Like my husband recently, with fighting some symptoms of some stuff, but he's never sick. I'm serious, y'all. He is never sick. And when he is sick, that's how you know it's serious, because he'll go, I need you to drive. And everybody looks like my daughter, she's 5, just turned 5, 4, just turned 5. And my son will look at him like, and he's like, I need you to drive. I was like, oh my God, do we need to go to the hospital? Because he never asked me I don't care if we go to the 10-minute away grocery store. He will be like, no, I got it. Okay. You got to know your gifts. Okay. You have to know your talent, and driving is not mine. So anywho, so I didn't drive for Lyft or Uber, but I did a lot of different freelance stuff. Crystal, do not laugh at me, but I'm so serious. I did a lot of different freelance stuff. Okay. And so you can do all of those really great things as a diversified worker. I love diversified workers because they just have all these wonderful talents and they're just monetizing them. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that today. Okay. Also, another form of freelancing is consulting. So it's like you being an expert on something. So for instance, if you can think about something that you do really well, you can work for a single employer or a client or a gig, and you're a business consultant, right? You work on a contract basis, maybe consulting their team on how to build talent acquisition, or how to build the receptionist office management area. I don't know. I've helped consultants who, it's the craziest types of jobs too that you wouldn't know that people consult for. So for example, if there is let's say a new doctor. This is good too for anybody. I don't know anyone who has healthcare experience, but let's say there's a new doctor. He has a new practice. He's building his practice and he's starting to grow. Now, initially he starts off and he's just doing things, regularly, regular payroll, regular this, regular that. But as he begins to grow with more employees, there's someone that needs to be on the back end, or at least train the people on the back end how to expand the business, what it looks like to scale in that back end area. I know people who do that for a living. You get what I'm saying? They consult with healthcare doctors' offices, and they help build their back end. That's a consulting position all day. And they make money. They make good money. They can charge $10,000 for 2 months' time for 60 days, right? $5,000 a month. So what I'm saying is consulting can be very lucrative if you really know what you're doing. If you're expert in whatever it is, you figure out what that thing is that you know really well that you can do with your eyes closed. That's what you consult about. And I'm going to talk to you about what I did with consulting in just a second. Okay. All right. Over 25 years in benefit administration. Yeah. Hey, listen, benefit administration is really good, especially for startup companies. If I were you, I would target startup companies. I would go look for startup companies. I would target them. I would be where they are. I would have my services listed in their forums and their areas, because you know why? Eventually, they're going to need you as they grow, as they get more serious funding. They're going to need someone to figure out these benefits. Okay. All right. So sorry, I know you see, now I'm consulting. Now give me my money. I'm just playing. All right. So the next person that we got to talk about is the last person, which is an FBO. Okay. Not to be confused with the FBI, but an FBO is a freelance business owner. So I tend to think of myself as this because my husband and I, we have our main businesses, but we have our hands in other things too. So anyway, a freelance business owner is basically one that has like between 1 and 5 employees. That's me, and who consider themselves to be a freelancer as well as a business owner. Okay. we have a mixture of those types of things. Like at times I can be a consultant. Like I have a coaching company. I consult. You see, that's a freelance. You guys understand what I'm saying? So people sometimes don't understand the word freelancing, and I'm just really trying to help you get it. Okay. So hopefully now you got it. Any questions before we go on? I want to make sure we all understand freelancing. You see how diversified freelancing can be. But I want to make sure you don't have any questions. Let's see. Nope, I don't see any questions. Okay, perfection. Let's move on. Now, let's see here. Okay, so here's some things that people ask about freelancing. Do I have the experience necessary to be successful, right? Or can I stay committed so I won't have any regrets leaving my job? Well, number two to that question is you don't have to leave your job as a freelancer. We learned that before. So freelancing can be on the weekend, freelancing can be at night, freelancing can be whenever you want it to be. Your experience is what you make it. You have the experience and the talent within you. You may need your skills to be, leveled up, but the experience is already here. Okay. Can I honestly replace my current salary with freelancing? I would say so. I did. Okay. I told you guys the story, but I'm going to tell you in just a second. What else? Is freelancing a legit way to obtain financial freedom? Yes. Yes, it is. All types of freelancers from network marketers to freelance writers to consultants to contractors, etc. You have to start somewhere. The really big thing that I've noticed with a lot of my people is, and I say my people, is fear. It's fear. You ask all these questions because you're just scared, right? And what do I always say fear is? I know somebody in one of my classes can tell me what I say fear is. It is false evidence appearing real. Okay. Fear is it's something that the enemy brings to you to make you not want to move forward in what you're supposed to be doing. Fear is what they dangle in front of you to say, hey, this is your traditional job. Get on the hamster wheel. Don't get off of it. Keep on going. And we'll see you in 50, 60 years, and we may have Social Security left for you. That's what fear will do. It'll get you in that place of being stuck. Okay. And we don't want anybody stuck here. That's not what Success Hacks is about. That's not what Kingdom Money Team is about. Hello. We're not about fear. Okay. We're about real evidence being real. Okay. God's evidence of the gifts that he's given you, the talents that he's given you, and showing you how to be wealthy from that. The word of God says he desires us to be in good health and to prosper. So when you speak wealth and you speak prosperity, you're not going against the word of God. You're actually preaching the word of God. So that's one thing that he has really done for me, y'all. This last couple of months, I have been speaking more wealth, and more wealth has come my way. Okay. I have been believing that he wants us to be wealthy. And I'll be honest with you, this is my first year of saying, okay, next year I'm going to be a millionaire. I have never said that before in my life. I have never said that before. I almost feel like I never felt like I deserved it. I know that sounds crazy. Like I don't have a college degree. I'm okay with a couple $100,000 a year. I'll be good with that. Like I had that mindset, and that's a poverty mindset. That is fear, y'all. That was fear that was trying to take over me. And so what I'm telling you is we're not manifesting fear. We're manifesting wealth. We're manifesting prosperity, because that's what God desires for us to do, to be in good health and to prosper. Okay. Not to go check to check when you have all these gifts inside of you, all of these talents inside of you that you need to go out to the forefront, right? There's no reason why we're not millionaires. We can be millionaires, and especially those who are about the kingdom, right? We're about the kingdom. I tell people this all the time. My husband and I have we have a ministry called Building Kingdom Culture. It's an outreach ministry, and we help those that are rejected, those who are unemployed, those who are underemployed, those who are just on having hard times. And when I tell you guys, we have such a small group of people who give and sow, but their giving is so big. Their sowing into our ministry is so big that every event that we've had, we everything that we do, every time we feed someone, we don't always tell people, we don't always make it an announcement. We'll tell our core group of people what we're doing. They come, they show up, and they make it happen. But when I tell you, if it wasn't for money, income, we wouldn't be able to help them. Does that make sense? So there is money is necessary, right? Wealth is necessary, but we just can't make it the root of our everything. We can't lust after it. We can't base our life off of it. Okay. I don't know why I got into that tangent, but hey, there it is. All right. So the next thing I wanted to share with you about was my experience with freelancing. So you may recognize this beautiful young lady next to me, Tyra Banks. She is a supermodel. She's been in the game for a very long time. And I was introduced to her through a mutual friend who was in network marketing. And it was funny because I'd never been in network marketing. I've been offered to do network marketing like many times. And I was like, ooh, that's not my thing. And I didn't realize that it was a form of freelancing, which was me making additional money on the side, making income by playing in, and at the time we were just playing in makeup. I mean, literally just playing in makeup. And with her, I was able to make a lot of money. Okay. Almost to the point where I almost quit my job, but I did not quit it. Thank God, because it didn't end up working out on my behalf for me to go full on in the beauty industry. That just wasn't my thing. So after a while, I got kind of like, yeah, I didn't want to do it anymore. Again, certified job hopper, right? Certified freelance hopper too. So, but during that time, I made really great money by doing something that I like to do. Now, makeup wasn't something that I loved to do, but it was something that I liked to do. Remember that earlier in the beginning where I said I want you to make a list of 3 things. Your first list of things that you can do well, but you don't necessarily like to do. Things that you can do well and you're just okay with doing it, and things that you can do well that you love to do. Okay. That's the 3. That's the list that I want you to really be writing into as we talk today. Because this is a prime example. I didn't stick with it. It was something that was okay. It lasted for a season. It was good. I think as a total, I made almost $20,000 in a very short amount of time. Okay. I wasn't even with her a year. Let's just be clear. And I made that kind of money. Okay. And I almost wanted to quit, but then I realized, I don't really like doing this. I just like playing with it. I don't want to have to do this forever. Like, this is my life, doing makeup and stuff. No, thank you. But I liked playing in makeup at the time. Okay. It satisfied a need at the time. Okay. And so what am I sharing with you? That network marketing is also a form of freelancing. And the wonderful thing about freelancing is you're not married to it. You can call it a quits whenever you desire to. Okay. But can I tell you, I made some lasting memories. Can I tell you, she flew me out to, I have to ask my husband where, Santa Monica. She flew us out somewhere great. I mean, just amazing time. We had great times, great experiences. And allowed me to bring my husband along with me. Maybe she knew I couldn't drive and wanted him to drive with me. I don't know. But it was just a really great time. And I just always share this story because I always want to tell people that freelancing can do a lot of different things for you. And I was still working a corporate job while I was doing all of this. Yep, sure was. So after this experience, I decided to go really hard, y'all, with my business, because I was like, listen, if I'm making this kind of money with something I don't even like to do, I mean, not that I don't like to do it. Makeup was just cute. It wasn't like, So what I was thinking in my brain was, if I'm making this kind of money and I'm still doing my recruiting, I still have my recruiting business at the time, but I also have my corporate business. But I'm like, if I can do this, what if I just put a whole bunch more energy into recruiting. So went back into it, started to do my recruiting business. This is by this time I left corporate America to go full on for my recruiting business. As soon my recruiting business was making a little money here and there, but as soon as I left corporate America, it was like a drought. It was like crickets. I was so scared. I was like, oh my what is happening? Maybe I need to call Tyra back, So I didn't know what to do, to be honest with you. And what ended up happening was I found a platform called Fiverr. Ta-da! So I found Fiverr, y'all, and Fiverr saved my sanity. It saved my life because I really thought that I was just going to have contracts coming out out of everywhere. I was just going to be putting placing candidates. I'll just be making great money. But that's not how it started initially. I had to get my feet wet. I had to figure out some stuff. Okay. And Fiverr helped me tremendously. I made my list just like you're making of things that I can do well, that I don't really like to do, and things that I can do okay, that I can do well, but I just like okay, right? And I began to just write that list down. And let me just first of all tell you about Fiverr. So Fiverr is what the world's largest freelancers marketplace. Okay, it's for businesses that want to grow, and they want to get help from people that are all over the globe. This is a global market of people that have services, and business owners like myself come to Fiverr to get those services. So a lot of people think about Fiverr to go get services, but they never think about being the person to serve. And that was me. I knew about Fiverr, but I just didn't know to serve, right? It got to a place that I was so good in Fiverr, that I did so well in Fiverr. I don't know if you guys have been following me. I don't know how long you've been following me, but I would get called by a Fiverr marketing team to speak at their engagements. Okay. I'll tell you what happened. Let me see. I'm going to go to my next slide, but it's not going to. Okay, there we go. So with Fiverr Services for buyers, it can help start your business. It can help grow your business, and it can help scale your business. Any service you can think of is on Fiverr. So that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what your skill. If you're a singer, there's things for you to do on Fiverr. Do you know that some people need singers? What do you call it for jingles, for commercials? I can show you people making buku money, making customized little jingles for startup companies. Okay, Crystal said I could do that. I know you could, girl. So listen, Fiverr for sellers, you can advertise your gigs to a global community. So a seller is basically a server. You're serving a business or startup or something. And if you want to get more money, additional income, you're a freelancer, right? And here's the thing, Fiverr only charges about 20% of your fees, okay? You don't have to pay for a setup fee. You don't have to pay any monthly fees. When you get booked, they take 20%. It's like a book. It's like a marketplace. You get the gig. They put you in front of all these people. You do a good job. The person pays you $100, and then you get, whatever you get. So no setup fees, no monthly fees, nada, zero. This was in the beginning, y'all, when I was brokety broke, and I was like, Lord have mercy, what's happening? I began to put my skills up. My skills are interview coaching. I love interview coaching. There was a season where I loved interview coaching a lot. And I could interview coach people for hours. And I made so much money doing this interview coaching. It was insane. It was insane how many people wanted to be interviewed, to the point where I had to stop. I was like, look, I don't want to do this anymore. This is too much. I was just trying to do this for extra money. But this is how quickly, this is in a span of a couple of weeks that I made this kind of money doing interview coaching. And there was one gig I had where I would review your marketing strategy. I mean, just whatever gifts you have, you put in here, but there is a recipe. Can I say that? There is absolutely a recipe. There's a recipe to this. So even though I'm putting you on game with this whole Fiverr thing, showing you what a freelancer is, showing you how to write, figure out what your gifts are and etc., there is still a recipe in which you can thrive. So with what I did, how I got to the thousands in such a short period of time is because I began to realize that everything has an algorithm. Everything, Facebook, Instagram. When I learned the Instagram algorithm, I got more followers. You get what I'm saying? So every system, every platform, every social media platform, with LinkedIn, I think I got like over 10,000 followers, but because I learned the algorithm. Okay. So that's what I'm going to show you today, is how or what I'm offering with this freelance Fiverr course. Okay. So in this, I have basically developed a training class that helps freelancers like you, or budding freelancers, aspiring freelancers like you, focus in on Fiverr platform only. Okay. So this wouldn't go with any other platform. It's specific for Fiverr. Okay. I have to say that. So in this exclusive training, you're going to learn how to craft clear and engaging messages for your gigs that speak to your strengths. Okay. You're going to see here how to create consistent and high traffic to your gigs, where people come to your gigs constantly, like they did for me, and how it was just like, okay, this is too much, right? It was distracting me from my real job, right? And then you're going to learn some advanced Fiverr techniques like metadata, optimizing your account, where to get your leads from, how to be specific with your freelancing talents, and just a lot more, right? So that is pretty much, you're going to get the template on how I generated my first $500. Anything that you need is going to be in this platform, in the Fiverr platform. Okay. So here's the thing with this, although it's self-paced, there's a lot of engagement with me. I have a Q&A session that I do for all of my Fiverr participants that goes on and on per month, where we get together and you just ask questions, because the class is so in depth and it's so good that you don't necessarily need me to be like hand holding. Like everything I show you how to do, boom, boom, boom. As long as you do it, you're going to win. But I did want to add like a Q&A to it, because I felt like just kind of leaving you with the self-paced. I just can't leave people with just the self-paced study. I have to kind of be in the mix some kind of way. So we figured out, my husband and I figured out a way where I can be in the midst and not like take away too much time from my recruiting business and give you guys a Q&A per month. So if you were to join this program, join this freelance, you could be a freelance recruiter, you could be a freelance writer, you could be a freelance singer on Fiverr. Okay. It's okay. I got you. Somebody just DM me. Okay, cool. I will make sure I get. So just FYI, I'm going to get everybody the link to somebody's like, I'm ready to start. Okay, praise the Lord. I'm going to send everyone a link so that you can sign up for it. But anywho, so if you are ready to learn more about basically how to just jumpstart your freelance career and be able to make money quickly, that's what we're going to be doing in this course. And you're going to have me at a time where you can just kind of Q&A, ask questions, etc. So I already mentioned that part. So here's the big thing. So most trainers, if you research how to be a Fiverr freelancer and make additional money, you're looking at about $500 something. Our typical price that we normally charge has been about $100 and something, $199, almost $200. This price is at $119, and it includes for a lifetime. So that means that you get to have this course forever. You don't just have it and then it disappears in a couple of months. You have it forever. You can keep going back and saying, okay, how do I do this? How do I get back and do this? Okay. Cumulatively, it goes up to about almost 3.5 hours. Okay. So that's three and a half hours of teaching, 3.5 hours of you doing exercises that you need to do. So even though it's 3.5 hours, you have to stop and go and do it and then come back, right? So it's like it's very action oriented. Okay. So as long as you do what everything that is said to do in this, then you'll be fine, right? You'll be absolutely fine. So that's the Fiverr course. That's what we have created for you guys. And we've had some successes with this course. I think even if you click the link that I'll have to I'm gonna send to her right now in DM. But even if you look at this, you'll take a look at some of give me a second, y'all. I gotta pull it from somewhere. You get to look at, there you go. You get to look at some of the people who have previously been in this course, what they've done, how they've made money, how they've turned it into a coaching practice. Some initially start off by coaching people on resumes or coaching people on starting up their businesses or whatever. And then they moved into a full-on coaching business, but they started on Fiverr. So this is a good starting place, I would say. And then it's also a good place for you if you just have a business that's already up and coming, you just want to test out the waters and see what you can do. Okay. So either way, however you want to do it, this is it. The Fiverr Freelancers. I call it the BFF course. Become a Fiverr freelancer. So if you desire to be a BFF, then this is your time here. Now that price is going to last, I think, until at some point in January. I think the first week of January. Okay, the first week of January. I have to get my husband. He's the mastermind behind me. It finishes the first week of January. So that price will leave after that, and it'll go back to $199, which is still affordable, which is still a great price if you are someone who's saying, listen, I want to figure out how to be a Fiverr freelancer and really make some money on Fiverr and not just be up there and not making any money. Because I know people like that too, that they're on Fiverr, but they're not making any money because they don't know the algorithm. Okay. All right. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So open discussion. Listen, if you have questions, this is the time to ask. If you're like, okay, I want to know a little bit more about it, don't DM me because I want you to ask the question out loud. Okay. Or at least ask the question into the group. Okay. So that everyone can be able to benefit from your question. Okay. So anywho, that's it. You learn at your own pace. Join my live once a month for a live Q&A. And you get a chance to know how to be a freelancer. You can start on your own at your own pace, do it for free by yourself, but you are gonna want to know how to do it the right way. Okay. All right. No problem, Crystal. Anyone else have questions? Everyone good? Okay. Absolutely. No problem. Thank you, Crystal. So you guys have the link. You'll get a follow-up email very soon. I appreciate you all. Hopefully this has given you some additional ideas on what to do. And also for those who sign up before January, you get a full list of freelance ideas. So you get about 100 ideas, right? On things that you didn't even think about. 100 ideas on how to be a freelancer and make additional income when you sign up for this course. Okay. All right. So that's it. Thank you guys. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, JR. Thank you. Good. I'll see you guys hopefully in the next course. And you guys have an amazing evening. Okay. All right. Bye. You're welcome. Bye.